اجازت سلامی جب گئے عباس مارے سلامی جب گئے عباس مارے علی روتے ہیں دریا کے کنارے علی روتے ہیں دریا کے کنارے سلامی جب گئے کوئی بے رحم سے اتنا تو پوچھے کوئی بے رحم سے اتنا تو پوچھو تماچے کیوں مجھے ظالم نے مارے تماچے کیوں مجھے ظالم نے مارے چچا کی لاش پر بولی سکینہ چچا کی لاش پر بولی سکینہ دلا دو شمر سے گوہر ہمارے دلا دو شمر سے گوہر ہمارے علی روتے ہیں دریا کے کنارے ہزاروں عاشقیاں اور ایک شبیر ہزاروں عاشقیاں اور ایک شبیر کوئی نیزہ کوئی تلوار مارے کوئی نیزہ کوئی تلوار مارے سلامی جب گئے صلوات تو حسین اس پہ ڈالے ہوئے ایک اجلی سی چادر کو حسین دھوپ میں سایہ کیے جاتے تھے دل بر کو حسین آتے تھے اشک آنکھوں سے نہ تھمتے تھے بہہ جاتے تھے لڑکھڑاتے ہوئے مجبور چلے جاتے تھے نکلے خیمے سے صلوات دیگر صلوات
مجراؤ سے جو رو رو پکارے مجراؤ سے جو رو رو پکارے لوری تجھے دوں سو مورے اصغر مجراؤ سے جو رو رو پکارے مجراؤ سے جو رو رو پکارے لوری تجھے دوں سو مورے اصغر نیند کے ماتی میں تیرے واری نیند کے ماتی میں تیرے واری لوری تجھے دوں سو مورے اصغر لٹ پٹ بھورے بال سواروں میں پھٹے کرتے کو اتاروں لٹ پٹ بھورے بال سواروں میں پھٹے کرتے کو اتاروں بین کروں اے ڈوری ہلاؤں بین کروں اے ڈوری ہلاؤں لوری تجھے دوں سو مورے اصغر تیر گلے پر تیرے لگا ہے یا مجھے اصغر وہم ہوا ہے تیر گلے پر تیرے لگا ہے یا مجھے اصغر وہم ہوا ہے خون ہے یا یہ رنگ وفا ہے خون ہے یا یہ رنگ وفا ہے لوری تجھے دوں سو مورے اصغر مجراؤ سے جو بلندر صاحب اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا مجرمین خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا مجرمین خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا، پھر کہیں سے پیم برسنا آقا دیکھا، مجرئی خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا، جا کے زینب نے مدینے میں کہا صغرا سے، جا کے زینب نے مدینے میں کہا صغرا سے، کہوں کس منہ سے کہ پردیسی میں کیا کیا دیکھا، مجرئی خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا، میں نے دیکھا اصغر کا گلا خون میں تر، میں نے دیکھا اصغر کا گلا خون میں تر، میں نے زخمی علی اکبر کا کلیجہ دیکھا، میں نے زخمی علی اکبر کا کلیجہ دیکھا، مجرئی خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا، ایک گٹری شہدی پشت پہ لائے اس میں، ایک گٹری شہدی پشت پہ لائے اس میں نے ٹکڑے ہوئے قاسم کا سراپا دیکھا، مجرئی خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا، گر پڑے سیب نبی تھام کے ہاتھوں سے جگر، گر پڑے سیب نبی تھام کے ہاتھوں سے جگر، علی اکبر کو جو ریتی پہ تڑپتا دیکھا، مجرئی خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا میں نے دیکھا علم شاہ کو آلودہ بخوں، میں نے دیکھا علم شاہ کو آلودہ بخوں، میں نے نیزے پہ سر دلبر زہرا دیکھا، مجرئی خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا، بے داخل تو نے اس بی بی کے سر کو دیکھا، بے داخل تو نے اس بی بی کے سر کو دیکھا، جس کی مادر کا کسی نے نہ جنازہ دیکھا، مجرئی خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا دیکھا، ہائے کیوں ہو نہ گئی کور کے ان آنکھوں نے، ہائے کیوں ہو نہ گئی کور کے ان آنکھوں نے، قید خانے میں سکینہ کا جنازہ دیکھا، مجرئی خلق میں ان آنکھوں نے کیا کیا بولیے زینب مستر کے خیر کرے، بولیے زینب مستر کے خدا خیر کرے، रात को ख्वाब में उरिया सर ज़हरा देखा, मुजरई खल्क में इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देखा। जुल्म है मुजरई सा जाद ने क्या क्या देखा, जुल्म है मुजरई सा जाद ने क्या क्या देखा। घर लुटा कैद हुए बाप का लाशा देखा, मुजरई खल्क में इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देखा। फिर कहीं से पयाम बरसाना का देखा, मुजरई खल्क में।
वादी का सलवात।
सल्ली अला मोहम्मद वाह।
Please recite a Surah Fatiha for the Shuhada of Islam and the Marhumin of this gathering. Just as a reminder that tomorrow we will have the program for Ashura with the Amal of Ashura at 11:30 a.m. and Dhuhr and Asr prayer will be at 1 p.m. and then after the prayer we will start with the majlis and the program and it will end, and after that we will have Faqa Shikni, the late lunch, and inshallah in the evening tomorrow we will have the Sham-e Ghariba after Maghrib and Isha. So inshallah please try to be there, and obviously it is Ashura. It is a day in which it's very difficult for a believer to do anything else but to remember the son of Fatima. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما بقية الله الأعظم روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. The subject that we had started was who and what is Imam Hussein in reality, and what does he mean for us? What does Imam Hussein mean for us? What does he have to do with our life? Why is he so important? Does he have an influence in our life? And if he has an influence, then what is that influence? What is that effect that he has? If we say that we love Hussein, then what has that love given us? So this is to recognize Imam Hussein, to know who he is, so that when we want to give him to the world or to anyone else, then we can express who Imam Hussein is in the right manner, in the right way, and in the most accurate manner, so that others can recognize who he is through us. Now, we have learned that Hussein is the light of God, Allah's light. Allah is the light, and he has made Hussein a light, a nur. And through Hussein, this light has its rays, and these rays shine the world. Now the rays from Imam Hussein are called Shia. Who are the Shia? They are the rays that come from the sun, from this light. They are the rays. The actual source of this light goes back to Hussein, and Hussein is connected with Allah's light that Allah has sent for everyone else. This is what we had spoken about in the Quran and in the Hadith and in the words of Rasulullah. And what Hussein has given us is that he has given us salvation. He has given us guidance. He has given us protection. And all of these things we went through the Quran and Hadith in order to explain that. He is our protector. When Allah says wali, it means that he is your protector. That he is the one who protects you from any harm, from any misguidance. If you fall down, or if you go away for a bit, or if you do something that you are ashamed of, then as long as you have the love of Hussein in your heart, that love and that Hussein is going to pull you back. Because once you get this in your heart, it does not leave you. It'll be knocking at you until you come back to the right path. You are guided and you make your way towards salvation. This is the protection Allah afforded us. So what does Hussein mean to us? He is our protection. He's our protection. He's the reason we stay on the right path. If everything else fails, if the message fails, if the Shariat fails, and all these things don't go into our mind and we can't think about these things, so what happens? All of these things can fail, but the one thing that Allah has, the one hook that He has for you, and the one line that He has for you, which is your lifeline, is Hussein. You see that? If Ramadan fails for you, meaning that it's not guiding. If Hajj fails for you, right? You go for Hajj and come back, you see you're the same way. Haven't changed a bit. Right? You go everywhere else and all these things, you see that there's one thing that Allah has made that, you know what, if everything else fails, Hussein is there. And as long as Hussein is there, you have the chance to be saved. He can save you. Meaning that for every mission impossible that Allah has, it is Imam Hussein that's out there. This is what Hussein is. This is what Imam Hussein is, my friends. That every impossible person that you see, the hard-headed, thick-skinned person that nothing else goes into, you see Hussein breaks that and goes into it. It is that. Person came to Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. And he said that, listen, Musa And the prophets of Allah used to do all kinds of miracles. They used to do miracles. And he gave the example of Musa. He says, Musa, was a prophet of Allah and he did miracles. And he gave him the example that he broke the sea in half. Broke the sea, stopped it, made a path through it. People walked through it. Look at this. And he was saying these things. So, Imam replied back to him with a principle. First, a principle. He says that, do you know that it's harder to break through a hard-hearted heart of a person than to break the sea? You can make a hole in the sea, but you cannot break through a heart of a person who is hard-hearted. Allah calls it stones. These hearts are stones, cannot break through them. And then Allah gives the example also that stones can break through and water can come out from there. But these hearts, nothing comes out from there. They're so hard, steel hearts, hard-hearted hearts. Imam saying that it's more difficult to break the hearts of people, to go into their hearts, than to break the ocean and break the sea. And my grandfather Hussein has broken and gone through the hearts of people. Hussein is that person that Allah has used to go where nothing else can go. The verses of the Quran cannot go. The teachings that Allah has sent down cannot go. Nothing can go, so Allah has sent Hussein there. And really, that's the reason why Allah says, if Hussein doesn't work for you, then you know what? The only place you can end up is hell. There's no chance after that. There's nothing after Hussein. The only thing after Hussein is hellfire. And that's why when you read the hadiths, when you read the riwayat, when you read the sayings of the Prophet and the Imams, when you read the Quran, then you understand where is that end point. You know what? After this, there's no return for you. That end point that Allah has made, the extreme point where there's no return after that, is Hussein. So who's Hussein? I want us to understand that. And this is obviously the last speech regarding this subject that I'm giving. And I want to make sure that everyone goes and knows who is Hussein when they leave here. And they know that how do we reply back to him. My friends, this is when you look at who is Hussein. He's not, the third Imam. Wait a minute. He's a lot more than just that. That's a fact. But don't just say that and stop there. He's much more than that. And that is what we need to recognize and know about. Who is Hussein? What does it mean? And who is he in reality? Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now, Hussein, again, he is the reason that we are alive. And life is not the blood that's flowing in your veins. It is the faith that's flowing in your heart. That is life. Otherwise, moving around the earth is not life. That's an animal existence. Animals do that. Pigs do that. And they do a good job of it also. But you don't call them that. Yes, that's life. Is that the life that we want? Is that the life that we aspire to and crave for? No, my friends, the life that you want is a life that is beyond and above what animals have, above what everything else has. Allah made you human beings better than that. That life which human beings should have and have the capability of having is given through Hussein. Is given through Hussein. Again, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said that with the death of Hussein, with the killing of Hussein, there's going to be a wave, a motion, a wave that's going to rise that will never end until the day of judgment. This movement, this wave that's created in human beings, the ripple that's created in human beings is going to go forward. It's only going to get stronger. And every place this wave goes, everyone who's touched by that wave is going to become alive. This is Allah's goal. That's it. And you know what? If you have life through Hussein, protection through Hussein, salvation through Hussein, I spoke about that also. That Hussein is there to save everyone, anyone who's out there. They will be saved through Hussein. And all of that, if you have this as a guarantee from Allah, and Allah has guaranteed in the Quran for you, and He has given in the Quran for you. Now tell me, if you are a reflection, if you have that love for Hussein, and if you are a reflection of all the characteristics that are necessary for anyone who loves Hussein, then you should be confident. That confidence should show in you now. If you are touched by Hussein and the love of Hussein is in your heart and Allah has touched you with that, then you know what? The quality of a mu'min, a believer and a Shia is that he is confident. This self-confidence that he has, this self-assurance that he has, this conviction that he has, this certainty that he has shows in his demeanor and his attitude. He's just sure about himself. He's completely sure about himself, not because he's arrogant, not because he has an ego, not because he's self-righteous, not without reason. He has this confidence because that person who loves Hussein, he has a reason to be. I gave the example, and you know the example. There was, when Imam Hussein was born, and this incident is always mentioned, at the time when Hussein is born, and on the 3rd of Shaban, you might have heard this, that, Allah told the angels to go and visit Hussein. All the angels were on their way to visit Hussein. Hussein was in the cradle. And everyone was going there, and this one angel, a broken angel, a lot of people think that, angels, they do have a mind. They do have aql. And sometimes aql can make mistakes. Sometimes aql can make mistakes. If you look at, for example, the Quran, Allah says that the angels, they made a mistake in recognizing Adam. Didn't they? Allah, for example, He says that in the Quran that, listen, this is going to be my wali. He's going to be my khalifa. And as soon as He said that, angels are like, well, why don't you appoint one of us? We might be better than him because, he comes from the hood. Because he was made from earth, right? Earth is like the hood of the universe, And, he comes from there. Why do you want make him the Khalifa? Angels are using their aql to deduce a result. And Allah says, you're wrong. You're wrong. And the angels admit to that. La ilma lana. We have no knowledge. The only knowledge we have is what you taught us. Illa ma allamtana. Except what you taught us, we have no knowledge of that. Yes, we did make a mistake in recognizing this, in deducing this right. So they can make mistakes. So one angel was broken, made a mistake, not a sin, made a mistake, and so his wings were burned or were taken away from him. So he saw this group going there, right? Like, for example, if you stand on the street from Najaf to Karbala and you see all these people going by, And you're asking, so where are you all going? Where are you all going? It says we are all going to Hussein. Who's that? Hussein is our savior. I mean, Allah says Hussein is born. We are all going there. The light, it's there. He says, if I go there, can I be saved? He says, yes, you can. Let's go there. And the problem that happened with him, right, is that he had wings, and he felt that based on the fact that he is so good, he started to have an idea that he is good. He felt that he was good. Why are you good? Because I'm an angel. I have wings. It's a logical deduction. It wasn't ego. It wasn't anything like that. But he did have that. And because of that, his wings were taken away. Okay, your wings are taken away. Do some more math. You might come to a logical conclusion. Otherwise, there's a mistake you made in the formula. So whatever mistake he made, the formula or whatever incorrect formula he had, his wings were taken away. So what happened is that these angels that were going by, they said, right, let's take him there. They took him to Imam Hussein. They took this angel to Imam Hussein. And now the angel, everyone, they go there, they visit the cradle of Imam Hussein, they go around it, and they come. So as soon as this angel goes there to the cradle of Imam Hussein, he touches the cradle. And as soon as he touches the cradle and comes close to Imam Hussein, touches the cradle, his wings are back. He gets his wing back, and then you know what? He sees his wings. And the angels are like, oh, good, you got your wings back. They all knew what happened to him, so he got his wings back. And as soon as he got his wings back, he starts to fly out, with a confidence, with an air of hardiness, you can say, a little bit of arrogance. And as soon as he starts doing that, right, with a swagger, the angels warn him, hey, listen, last time you got your wings taken away because of this behavior. Because of your behavior, you got your wings taken away. You better be careful. He says, I know, last time it happened, but this time it won't happen. He says, how can we be sure of that? Because now I have a reason to be proud and confident. When you go to Hussein and when you have Hussein, you have a reason to be confident. And this confidence should show in your demeanor and your attitude. This is what we are about, my friends. It should show in the demeanor that you have that, yes, I'm confident. Why? I am going to be saved. Yes, I love Hussein. The only thing I'm worried about is to reflect his love in me. That's what I want to say about. But I want to give you a proof also. Right? A proof today so that, inshallah, this will help you to understand it better. Send a salawats. I have this hadith of the Prophet. And it is a wonderful hadith. Amazing hadith that just reading it, I truly, when I read this hadith, it was so broad and it was so amazing that it requires some time to ponder over it, reflect over it, see it. Let me just, read the other parts of the hadith also, so that when we also read Imam Hussein's part, it would be there. This hadith is from the Prophet. From Rasulullah. This hadith is from there, right? Rasulullah is saying this hadith. And he says, and pay attention to this hadith. And I say this only because when you want to think about your relationship with Hussein, here is where you need to think about it, right? Rasulullah says, be andartum. He says that through me, you have been warned. The warning of Allah has come through me. I have come here to warn you. Allah mentions that in the Quran, that innaka nadhirun, you are a warner to the people. You warn the people. So he says that through me you have been warned. وَبِعَلِي ibn Abi Talib اهْتَدَيْتُمْ, and through Ali you have been guided. Ali is the means of guidance for you, hidayat from you, for you. I have given you hidayat and guidance through Ali. Through Ali you have been guided. وَبِالْحَسَنِ أَعْطَيْتُمُ الْأَحْسَانِ, and through Hasan you have been blessed. You have been blessed through Hasan. His existence has blessed you, all of you. And then he says, وَبِالْ Hussein tas'adun, and through Hussein you have been made sa'adat, means everlasting, constant happiness. Constant, everlasting happiness has come to you through Hussein. It is through his being that you have sa'adat. You want sa'adat, you want happiness, you want joy, it can only come through Hussein. It can only come through Hussein. وَبِالْ Hussein tas'adun. Look at this hadith. Sa'adat. Explanation of what this means. We want happiness. It's in our nature to want happiness and joy. Everlasting joy. We all want that. And what happens is that the only way to get it is Hussein, he's saying. This is in hadith. Now let me read an ayat for you that goes along with this and you understand it. That goes along with this, and I want you to see this, because the thing that Allah has kept it here is that if you want it, Hussein can give you everlasting happiness if you want it. If you don't want it, then you know what? The offer is there, Hussein is there, everything is there. If you leave him, this is you then. And Allah mentions that in the Quran, فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ, and amongst people are those who do zulm on themselves. And who are these people? When the offer of happiness is there, they refuse to take it. They refuse to take it. How bad is it for you that Allah has given you the door of happiness and you want to reject it? You don't want it. This is doing zulm on yourself. That's what it means. But let me read this ayat for you. In Surah Hud, it says about two people. Human beings are two people. Those who have joy and those who are in misery. Those who have joy and those who are in misery. Misery and those who are sad, it's called shakawat. And those who are sad are called shaki. Shaki are wretched, unfortunate people in misery. They're miserable. And there are those people who are happy and joyous. They're full of joy. Two people Allah speaks about in Surah Hud. I want you to understand this verses really well. There's a small little subtle point in here that I want you to understand this. Allah says in the Quran, فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ شَكُوا فَفِي النَّارِ, and as for those people who are miserable, so they're in the fire. They're in hellfire, they'll be going to hell. Those who are miserable are going to go to hell. Why? Because they chose to be miserable. They are miserable, they chose to be miserable. See, the verb here is saying that they chose to be miserable, so they're going to hell. And then Allah says, وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ سُئِدُوا فَفِي الْجَنَّةِ, and as for those people who have been made happy, who have been given happiness, so they will be in heaven, Jannat. All right? Again, listen to this very carefully and you tell me what the difference is. Those who choose to be wretched are in hell, and those who are given happiness are in heaven. My friends, simply Allah in this eloquent way is saying that those who are going to hell, they choose to do so. And those who are going to heaven are not being, they don't choose it, it's Allah who's choosing them. They don't become happy, it's Allah who's giving them happiness. It's not your choice. Allah gave it to you and you have been given this. All you did is you took it. Allah is saying that no, you were given happiness. You were made to be happy. It's an intransient verb. You were made to be happy. In other words, it's Allah who made you happy. Allah has given you this happiness. Allah has given you this joy. Now the only question is that Allah, you said that you have given this joy. Through whom did you give sa'adat? Wa bil Hussein tas'adun. It's through Hussein that you will get this joy. You know, this is it, my friends. Happiness is through Hussein. And when you know that, it should reflect in you. I am happy. I am happy. I mean, there is this joy in me. There is this happiness in me that you want to reflect it. And it should show in a believer. That's why a Shia, no matter what situation he is, there is an internal joy that he has that never brings him down and that never makes him go into depression. He's always looking at himself. No matter what situation he is, he's always happy. He's always joyous. And when you look at him, you also start asking, why are you so happy? This is the sign of a Shia. This is a reflection of Hussein's love in us. This is what we need to be looking at and saying that, am I a Shia of Hussein? I could be going through all kinds of difficulties in life. But you know what? I am just exhilarated right now. Everything is like that. And that's the thing, you know. And just to, you know, Imam Hussein, his words, you know, again, just a hadith, you know, al-wusul ila darajati hubbihi wal-uns bihi. It says that you have been created. Your creation, the reason that you are created, insan is created. Why are you created? You have been created so that Allah can take you, Allah can bring you to the level of loving Him, of muhabbat, of loving Him, wal uns bihi, and attaching yourself with Him. My friends, who do you love? Who is in your heart? Who do you miss when he's not here? There are some people who truly, you know, when you look at it, right, when you're in love, what is love? When you're attached to someone, it means that when that person is not there, you miss him. You yearn for him. You feel the emptiness around you. You feel that inside of you. Then you know that it's love. That's why, you know, when a mu'min, when someone who loves Hussein, when he doesn't hear the name of Hussein, he starts missing him. He starts missing him. It's a sign of love. What is it that they always miss? It's always like that. And that's why you see that everyone who was with Imam Hussein in Karbala was a person that any moment that did not see Hussein, you see all of them. On one hand, they're happy because the army says this, that what's wrong with these people? They're being cut to pieces and they're still smiling and laughing. I mean, what is going on with these people? Each of these people, when they were in the battlefield, all of them, it was like no matter how much that we beat them up, that we cut them, they are bleeding and injured, you see them, not one wins, not one show of misery. It's like they're smiling. They're happy with this. And that's why the army, looking at these people, are saying, who are these people? Who are these people that no matter what is going on with them, they're laughing and smiling? What is that they have? What is that they have? It wasn't that they were smiling all the time. It wasn't that they were not worried. But when they looked at the enemy, they smiled. When they looked at the enemy, they smiled. And when they looked behind at the camp of Imam Hussein, they became worried. You can see it in them. You can see it in their eyes. Every time they looked back, they wanted to make sure Hussein is alive, that Hussein is there. Can you imagine if Imam Hussein is right behind you? If Imam Hussein is right behind you and you can just look at him. Now, these were like true, people who are completely in love. We might know their history. We might, really know about faith itself. We might know and be learned about all of these things. But you know what? Being in love is something else. Being in love is something. These people were in love. All of these people, they were in love. Maybe we can write a book about it, but it doesn't give you the same experience. Maybe you can research it and become the expert on Karbala. Really, it's not the same as loving. It's not the same as being. The reason these people were there is because of the love that they had for Hussein, and that cannot be written down or explained or understood. It cannot be understood. Many people tried it. Really, a lot of people have tried it, and you know what? They even came to the point of saying that, this is nothing. This is nothing. Let me give an example. And I'm not saying someone who's like mediocre. No, someone who's really high up there. Someone like, for example, an Ayatollah. You expect him that, man, he knows everything. And an Ayatollah like, for example, Ayatollah Mutahhari. Ayatollah Mutahhari, who is in the last 100 years one of the greatest minds that Shias have produced. Ayatollah Mutahhari. He says that when he was doing research on the companions of Hussein, when he was thinking of them and doing research on it and reflecting on them, a point came to his mind that yes, they gave their life for Imam Hussein. But then he asked himself, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Nowadays we have many youth who go and give their lives in the battlefield. We have many youngsters who give their lives in the battlefield. And I'm sure that if any of these people were there, they would also give their life for Imam Hussein. And they would do that. So he said that as he was thinking about this, and when you read and think, you get tired. He said, at that very place I fell asleep. I fell asleep at my desk thinking about this. That any Shia would be ready to give his life for Imam Hussein. Why won't you? Wouldn't you do that? He asked himself, yes, I would do that also. And as he went to sleep, closed his eyes, he saw himself in the battlefield of Karbala. He was looking around. He saw this army there, shouting, jeering, making noise. And he's wondering where he is. He says this, I was wondering where I am. I looked around to see what's going on. And I saw that this army is there. I saw these people are there. And then I turned around to see what's going on. And I saw that Hussein is praying right behind me. When Imam Hussein made his dhuhr and Dhuhr prayer. It was a prayer that he had made, and two of his companions stood in front of him to defend him against any arrow that comes his way. And these people, they stood before Imam Hussein until his prayer ended, and they took all the arrows. And as soon as his prayer ended, they fell down and died in the hands of Imam Hussein. They died in the hands of Imam Hussein, right? Imam Hussein, but they stood there. He saw, Ayatollah Mutahari says, I saw myself standing in front of Imam Hussein, and then the other army is out there, and they are shooting arrows. They're shooting arrows at me. And I knew that I have to protect Imam Hussein. I have to defend Imam Hussein. And he says in that dream, he saw this arrow come close. And this arrow, as it's coming closer, I got ready for the arrow. As it came closer, my conviction started to shake, because I knew that this is certain death. That this is death for me. It came with a face of death that's looking for me. It came hard. I looked at that arrow and I was saying, I need to stand here. I need to stand here. And as soon as that arrow came so close to me that it's about to hit me, I let it go. I said, you know what? The next one I have to take. The next one I will not let go. Another arrow was coming. And he was trying to muster up his energy, his conviction, and he was standing in front of it. And then he stood there, and still that arrow came to him, but he moved. Didn't let that arrow hit him. It so happened that he was avoiding the arrows now. And then, as he was avoiding the arrows, he turns around and sees every arrow that he missed went into Imam Hussein. It went into Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein was on the ground and saying, I thought you were going to defend me. He was asking him, I thought you were going to defend me. When I woke up from there, then I recognized that those people in Karbala were special. They were special. They were unique. You can't emulate that. You can't replace them. They were people who were unique to Hussein. They loved Hussein. They reflected his love. They were containers for his love. My friends, each of these companions were special. They were so special for Hussein. All of them, Hussein gathered on this night. He gathered there on this night. And each of them, he gathered them in a tent. And he let them know the truth. And he let them know the reality of what's going to happen. Nothing is going to be hidden when you're with Hussein. He is not going to surprise you, or you will not be shocked by anything. He is going to make sure that everyone knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So he came there in the gathering and he let everyone know that tomorrow everyone who is here with me is going to die. Every one of us is going to die. He let everyone know there's no way that we are not going to die. We are all going to die. So everyone who was in that room and all the companions knew that they're going to die tomorrow. There was no doubt left in them. There was no doubt left in them that they are not going to die. So what happened? Imam Hussein said, you all are going to die. And as you are going to die, and I just want you all to know that you do not have to give your life for me. You don't have to die. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to be with me. You all can leave. These people, they want to kill me. They want me. They don't want you. They will not kill you. I assure you, if you leave here, no one is going to come after you. No one is going to touch you. You will be safe and secure. I assure you that. Each of these companions, no one wanted to see the eyes of Hussein. No one wanted to look into the eyes of Hussein. Everyone's head was bowed down. No one had the courage to look at Hussein. Everyone was bowed down. And then Imam Hussein saw that they are obviously in a very awkward position. So Imam Hussein said, listen, maybe you're thinking that because of the obligation you have towards me, you will feel bad leaving me. If you feel that there's an obligation that you have, if you feel that you are bound to me because you made bay'at to me, an allegiance to me, then lo, I let go of this allegiance and I break this allegiance myself. So tomorrow, anyone who stands, there is no obligation on you to stand with me. No obligation. Look at this Imam Hussein. He's making it so clear to them. These are companions that are of Imam Hussein. They did not move. They did not look at Hussein. Imam Hussein, again, maybe there's another reason why you're staying. Maybe it's because you might be afraid that if you leave me, you will not go to heaven. That you will go to hell, that you will not go to heaven. So Imam Hussein told them that I assure you, every one of you is going to go to heaven, whether you stay with me or you don't stay with me. Whether you die or you don't die, you are all going to go to heaven. And it is said that Imam Hussein showed everyone their place in heaven. He says, look at your places in heaven. Lo and behold, you are going to heaven. I assure you, as the master of heaven, I assure you that you will be there with me. And all of them, they looked at that, nothing. They did not move their heads were down. Hussein was looking at this and saying that, okay, maybe you are here because you might feel ashamed. Because you are all men of great reputation. Maybe you will feel ashamed of walking out here like this. So here's what I'll do. Hussein said, let me put out this light. Let me put out this light, and in the darkness, go on. You can leave here. And no one will know, and no one is going to judge you. No one will be there to judge you tomorrow. No one moved. Hussein said, maybe you might be thinking that, my children are here and it's really terrible for you to leave my children here to die. So let me tell you this, my children don't need to be here also. Take my children and go. In the darkness, take my children, all of my children, and you all can go. Let me be alone here and let me die here. Let me die here. And there, just like right now you're crying, you see the sounds of crying now was apparent in the tents. Everyone was weeping. Everyone was crying. There were tears in every eye in that tent. The tears in every eye in that tent. And everyone was thinking, poor Hussein. This has come to Hussein. This has come to the grandson of the Prophet. This time has come to the grandson of the Prophet, where he is now being left alone. And everyone was crying. The first one to speak up was Abbas. The first one to speak up was Abbas, Abul Fadl Abbas. Abbas said, Hussein, just say one thing for me. If we leave you, and if you're going to die, and if you go away from here, yes, you said about heaven, you said about darkness, you said about all these things, but tell me, Hussein, if I leave you here to die, and tomorrow I'm going to meet your mother Fatima, what am I going to tell her? How can I meet her? Saying that I left your Hussein to die? Hussein did not say, there was no answer. Hussein had no answer for that. Muslim ibn Awsaja, I think, was the second one who stood up and said, Hussein, if I am killed tomorrow, like you said, and if I'm raised back up alive, and if I'm killed again, and if I'm raised back up alive, and I'm killed again, and if this happens 70 times I'm killed, I still will not leave you. You think I'm going to leave you? No. It was a long journey to come to you, Hussein. I'm not going to leave you like this. I'm not going to leave you like this. Every one of them got up and they all gave their testimony of them being there. When Hussein heard their testimony and Hussein heard their allegiance and Hussein heard their affirmation, Hussein then said to them, all right, then let it be. Now it's time for us to get ready. Get yourself ready. Tomorrow will be the day. And he walks out from that tent. As he walks out from that tent, some of the soldiers, some of the companions escort him. You know, he's the commander and they come after him. They escort him to take him to his tent. They took him to his tent and Hussein goes inside his tent. And as Hussein goes inside his tent, there's this one companion, Nafi bin Hilal. He's with Imam Hussein. He comes close to the tent of Imam Hussein. And from inside the tent, as Hussein enters the tent, he hears the voice of Zainab. He hears the voice of Zainab. Zainab comes to Hussein and says, Hussein, are you sure your companions won't run away? Are you sure your companions won't run away? Hussein said, yes, I am sure they will not run away. Zainab knows that Imam Ali's companion ran away. Imam Hassan's companions ran away. She's afraid that Hussein, you will be left alone also. I don't want that to be the case. I want to make sure that these people don't betray you and run away from you. When Nafi heard that, it was like a sword that had gone through his heart. Nafi bin Hilal, when he heard that, that was like a sword that went through his heart. He went back. He went back to the tent where the companions were and he spoke directly to Habib ibn Madahir. Habib ibn Madahir is closer to Ahlul Bayt, a friend of Imam Hussein. And he spoke to Habib ibn Madahir and said, Habib, let me tell you something. What is it? Let me tell you something. I was with Hussein and his family doubts about our conviction. His family has doubts about us being here. He says, what makes you say that? He says, I heard this from Zainab. She was behind the tent. When Habib heard that, he calls the companions. He calls the companions, and all the companions gather and Habib explains to them. Abbas comes there also. And Habib, he tells Abbas, this is not for you. You go aside. You stand aside. This is for us now. This is for us. Abbas, you stay away from this. He gets the companions together and says, listen, companions, we made an allegiance with Hussein and tomorrow we are not going to back off that. We are going to go forward and we are going to give our life in any way possible. We're going to give our life. But the family is in doubt. We have to assure them that we will stand with them. It is said that these companions, they came to Imam Hussein. They came close. They came to the tent again. And they called out, Hussein, come out for a minute. Hussein, he came out because Hussein had just left the companion. He says, what's the matter? What's the matter? Habib spoke. He said, Hussein, we heard that your family has doubts about us being here. And we want to assure them, could you please call Zainab to come here? Could you please call Zainab? We want to speak to her directly. Zainab came behind the door of the tent. She came there. Imam Hussein called her. She came there. And when these people, they spoke to Zainab, they were going to speak to Zainab to assure her. He said, listen, you have doubts about this and so forth. We want to give you this testimony that we're going to be here. When Hussein heard this, when Hussein heard that they're going to give testimony, he said, Zainab, also call Sakina, please. Call Sakina. Hussein, what's going to happen to Sakina? That you're calling her there also. She came there. The other ladies came there. All of them behind the tent. behind the door of the tent, and they said, we will speak to them and we want to assure them. And they all took out their swords and they put it on their necks, and they said that we are going to cut our necks off ourselves. We want to assure you that we are ready to die tonight. We will not leave Hussein. Do not be doubting our faith. We are going to stand with him. Do not doubt us, we are going to stand with him. And when they said that, Hussein said, then yes, you know what, you can go back now. My friends, can I say one thing here? Can I say one thing? This was the last time. This was the last time Zainab was meeting men who are going to respect her. Tomorrow, those real men are going to die. One by one, they went and they all died. One by one, they went and they all died. And as they died, and as everyone died, and no one was left with Hussein, Hussein brought back the last body that was there. Hussein brought back the last body that was there. And as Hussein brings back the last body, it said, he put them in one place, in one tent. And Hussein sat there on the ground and thought for a minute, looked over the battlefield, seeing what is wrong with this battlefield. And as Hussein looked at this battlefield, he went there and made a last statement to these people and said to them, Hal min nasirin yansuruna, Hal min mughisin yughithuna. Is there anyone who will help me? Is there anyone who will defend the haram of Rasulullah? And no one answered. Everyone laughed. But the haram and the camp of Imam Hussein was in uproar. Ladies want to do something, but they can't. Ladies starts crying out loud. Hussein comes back to the tent and said, why are you crying so loudly for? He says, because when you said, Hal min nasirin, your son Asghar was shaking and crying. He started crying. You know why it was surprising for them? Because Asghar was so thirsty that he stopped crying. There was no voice left in him. But when Hussein said, Hal min nasirin, this voice came out from inside of him. He started to cry. Hussein took Ali Asghar in his hands. I will not make it long. Just I want to make it brief right now. Hussein takes Ali Asghar in his hands. He says, I know what Ali Asghar needs and wants. He takes Ali Asghar in his hand. He puts this abaya, his cloak around Ali Asghar. Walks out with that cloak. As he walks out with that cloak, people see Hussein bringing something. He is bringing something. It is of utmost important. What is it? Everyone is conjecturing. Is it the Quran that he's bringing? Maybe he wants peace. Maybe he wants a solution. So he comes there and he brings this baby. He brings this baby, opens this baby and puts that baby in front of the crowd and says, tell me, this is this baby here. This is not your enemy. This is not your enemy. I am the enemy. It is not has done anything to you. It's dying here. It's dying here. It's in this situation where it cannot do anything. It cannot do anything. It is at the last pangs of its death. It is dying over here. This baby is little. It's making noise. You hear the sound of that baby making noise. When that baby makes that noise, it's hard, my friends, for any father. It's hard for any father. Ask any father, can he bear that? Ask any father, can he bear that? Hussein stands there. Oh, the helplessness of this old father who can't even give water to his child. who can't even give water to his child. He's begging for water from these people. He says, give him some water. They don't give water. They start to argue. But you know what? Someone, Umar ibn Saad, he calls out and says, Hurmala, ikta kalam al-Hussein. Hurmala, cut the speech of Hussein. Hussein is speaking too much. Cut him out. Cut his speech. Hurmala takes that arrow out. He's an archer. He takes out the arrow, aims that arrow. He's an expert marksman. He aims that arrow. It is said that when he shoots the arrow missed its mark. Again he shoots, he misses mark. Umar ibn Saad calls out to him and says, Hurmala, I've known you for many years. I've known you for many years and you have never missed your mark. You never missed your mark. Why are you missing this? What is wrong with you? Why are you missing? He says, every time I shoot, I see a lady calling out to me, don't shoot my son. Do not kill my son. The third aim hits him. An arrow that is meant for animals. It hits him. It comes and hits the neck of Ali Asghar. And when it hits the neck of Ali Asghar, the blood splashes on the face of Hussein. Hussein looks at this, tries to grab a hold of Ali Asghar, make sure that he doesn't fall. Now the reason, just imagine this, my friend. How big is the neck of a 6-month-old child? How big is the neck of a 6-month-old child? Just look at the baby and you will see there's not that much room for an arrow to hit. There's not that much space for an arrow to go to. Have you seen the neck of a child? When the arrow hits his neck, when the arrow hits the neck of Ali Asghar, when it hits the neck of Ali Asghar, the head is hanging by the skin. There is no bones left anymore. The head is hanging by the skin. Hussein grabs the head so it doesn't detach from the body. Wants to keep the baby in one piece. He grabs the baby. Now he comes back. He's going. How can he do? Until then, he was hiding the baby with the cloak. But now, Hussein is hiding his head with his abba. He puts his abba on his head. And now he's walking back and forth. How is he going to show the mother what has happened to the child? What's he going to tell her? He goes back and forth. Just 2 more things I will say, inshallah. You give your condolences. May Allah reward you all. May Allah give this love of Hussein in your heart, in the heart of your children. May Allah increase this love for you. And may Allah make this love of Hussein your salvation in this world and the hereafter. Just 2 more things I want to say to you. And that's it for today, my friends. Abu Ayyub. Abu Ayyub was one of the commanders of Yazid's army. He was one of the commanders of Yazid's army. And what kind of a commander was he? He wasn't even in the forefront. He was in the back. He was in the back. And as he was in the back, he's one of those people who gives water to the front lines. Nothing much. He was caught by Mukhtar. He was brought before Mukhtar. And Abu Ayyub was saying that, listen, what wrong have I done? I haven't done anything wrong. I didn't kill anyone, do anything like that. He says, you have done a great crime. Tell us about the crime here. What have you done on Ashura? He said, there was nothing that I did. There's nothing that I did. All I did was this. All I did was that I saw when Hussein went back to the tent with that little child, I just kept my eyes on what Hussein is doing. And I saw that Hussein at one time went behind the tents. He went behind the tents. Now, you know, I didn't do anything. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't kill anyone. The only thing was that when Umar ibn Saad made an offer and said, anyone who brings a head, he'll be rewarded. So I just saw Hussein take the baby behind the tents. And I knew that that baby was somewhere there behind the tents. I knew that baby was there somewhere behind the tents. La ilaha illallah. What can I say, my friends? You know, when Hussein went behind the tent, he took the ladies with them. He took Zainab with him. He said, let's go behind the tent. And he gave Asghar to Zainab. He said, hold this, Zainab. Hold this. And then Asghar and then Imam Hussein started clawing at the ground with his bare hands, opening up a hole. He was clawing with that ground. He opened up a hole with his hands, with his own hands. Is there any father who's ready to do that for his child? Imagine what you're going through when you're making a grave for your child. He makes this hole in the grave. He asked Zainab to hold this baby. And then Zainab is holding the baby. And then he tells Zainab, give me that baby. Zainab carefully gives that baby to Hussein. Hussein takes that baby and he puts that baby inside there. All the ladies are saying, Mahalla, don't do this. It's just a baby. You're putting him in the dirt like this. Ali Asghar was just alive a minute ago. You're putting him in the grave like this. It's so difficult for them. Everyone is crying there. Imam Hussein puts the baby there. Zainab says, Hussein, wait a minute. You know what Hussein tells Zainab? Do you see Zainab? He is still looking at me. Abu Ayyub says that I saw Hussein go behind the tents and I knew that baby is somewhere there. When Umar ibn Saad made that offer, I went there looking for that baby. And I was looking around where that grave is. The ladies, they saw me coming there. And when the ladies saw me coming there, they made a wall. He says, don't go back there. Don't go behind there. I didn't listen to them. I broke through that wall. And I took my sword and I was hitting the ground to see where the baby was. Where was this baby? I was hitting the ground to see where it was. And as soon as I found that grave, I uncovered it and I just took out that baby. As soon as I took out that baby, the head rolled off the body. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. ماتم حسين.
करबला की फिजाओं में अब तक एक दुखियारी माँ की सदा है। करबला की फिजाओं में अब तक एक दुखियारी माँ की फिदा है। کربلا اس کے بلم میں لال میرا کہیں کھو گیا ہے، کربلا کی فضاؤں میں اب تک ایک دکھیاری ماں کی صدا ہے۔ کس کو اے لال کہہ کر پکاروں، کس کو سینے سے اپنے لگاؤں، لوریاں دے کے کس کو سلاؤں، ہائے اصغر کہیں کھو گیا ہے۔ اس قدر یہ زمین تجھ کو بھائی، یاد بھی تجھ کو ماں کی نائی، دے رہا ہے جو داغ جدائی، بول اصغر میری کیا خطا ہے، تو اگر روٹھ جائے گا ثانی، کیسے ہوگی بسر زندگانی، پاس کوئی نہیں ہے نشانی، تیرا جھولا بھی اب جل چکا ہے، ہو نہ دل ٹکڑے ٹکڑے کسی کا، یوں مقدر نہ بگڑے کسی کا، اس طرح گھر نہ اجڑے کسی کا، جیسے ویراں یہ گھر ہو گیا ہے نہ قاسم نہ عباس و اکبر، لوٹ کر تو بھی آیا نہ اصغر، ہو گئے حق پہ قربان سرور، ہائے جینے میں اب کیا مزہ ہے، بیڑیاں پہن عابد کھڑے ہیں، سب رسن بستہ چھوٹے بڑے ہیں، یوں شہیدوں کے لاشیں پڑے ہیں، جیسے قرآن بکھرا پڑا ہے، مجھ سے پوچھے گی جس دم یہ صغرا، کیوں دکھائی نہیں دیتا بھیا، مجھ سے پوچھے گی جس دم یہ صغرا، کیوں دکھائی نہیں دیتا بھیا، کہہ سکوں گی میں کس طرح بیٹا، تو بھی حق پر فدا ہو چکا ہے، کربلا کی فضاؤں میں اب تک ایک دکھیاری ماں کی صدا ہے، یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، 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 رویا کیا اردو کا مقدر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، لڑنا ہے حرملا سے تجھے میرے صغیر، لڑنا ہے حرملا سے تجھے میرے صغیر، لڑنا ہے حرملا سے تجھے میرے صغیر، ماں کہہ رہی تھی لوریاں دے کر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، تیرے ستم مجھے لگے بابا کو کچھ نہ ہو، تیرے ستم مجھے لگے بابا کو کچھ نہ ہو، تیرے ستم مجھے لگے بابا کو کچھ نہ ہو، شاید یہ سوچتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، آیا کیے بدن پہ سجا کر قریب شاہ، آیا کیے بدن پہ سجا کر قریب شاہ، آیا کیے بدن پہ سجا کر قریب شاہ، زینب کے لال جنگ کے زیور تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، مادر سجا رہی تھی تصور میں ایک دلہن، مادر سجا رہی تھی تصور میں ایک دلہن، مادر سجا رہی تھی تصور میں ایک دلہن، قاسم کے سر پہ پھول سجا کر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، صغرا وطن میں ہوگی میرے انتظار میں، صغرا وطن میں ہوگی میرے انتظار میں، صغرا وطن میں ہوگی میرے انتظار میں، مقتل میں سوچتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، دینے اذان صبح لہن میں رسول کی، دینے اذان صبح لہن میں رسول کی، دینے اذان صبح لہن میں رسول کی، بے چین تھے شبیہ پیمبر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات، گرنا تھا زخمی ہو کے جہاں شہ تو وہ زمین، گرنا تھا زخمی ہو کے جہاں شہ تو وہ زمین، گرنا تھا زخمی ہو کہ جہاں شہ کو وہ زمین بالوں سے جھاڑتی رہی مادر تمام رات جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات جھولے میں
جاگتے رہے اصغر
تمام رات قربان جاؤں پہ ہو جا یو نثار قربان جاؤں پہ ہو جا یو نثار قربان جاؤں پہ ہو جائیو نثار کہتی رہی یہ بچوں سے مادر تمام رات جھولے میں جاگتے رہے
تمام رات
جھولے میں جاگتے رہے
تمام رات
کاجل لگا کے آنکھوں میں گیسو سوار کے کاجل لگا کے آنکھوں میں
آنسو
سوار کے کاجل لگا کے آنکھوں میں گیسو سوار کے ماں دیکھتی رہی رخ اکبر تمام رات جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات جھولے میں جاگتے رہے اصغر تمام رات یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین حیا علی خیر العمل حیا علی خیر العمل حیا علی خیر العمل مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام
یا حسن یا حسین
مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین وہ عابد بیمار تھا وہ عابد بیمار تھا چلنے سے جو لاچار تھا چلنے سے جو لاچار تھا اور شام کا بازار تھا اور شام کا بازار تھا اور مصطفیٰ کی بیٹیاں مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین حق امام
یا حسن یا حسین
یا حسین یا حسین امت کا وہ مہمان تھا امت کا وہ مہمان تھا پابند جو زندان تھا پابند جو
زندان تھا
حرموں کا وہ نگران تھا سید کی تھی بے تابیاں مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام
یا حسن یا حسین
شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی سینے پہ جو شاہ کے پلی سینے پہ جو شاہ کے پلی جس کی ابابن میں جلی منہ پہ ابابن میں جلی منہ پہ تماچوں کے نشان مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین معصومہ کی وہ سسکیاں معصومہ کی وہ سسکیاں دیتا ہے شمتا دیتا ہے ستم ہائے جھڑکیاں بی بی کی وہ بے تابیاں بی بی کی وہ بے تابیاں روتے رہے کونو مکان مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین چاروں طرح بے پیر میں چاروں طرح بے پیر میں اور وازری سے تطہیر ہیں اور وارث سے تطہیر ہیں اور قید میں تطہیر ہے اور قید میں تطہیر ہے رو ہوتی رہیں شہزادیاں مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین 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 یا حسین
یا